In the 90s, I worked as a security guard, and one of the businesses that contracted us was the local hospital. On top of the usual drunks, addicts, etc., we were also responsible for checking the guest list in the morgue. Every 2 hours, we were to go through the drawers and the meat locker and check each toe tag against the inventory sheet to make sure everyone was always accounted for. I worked night shift there for almost 2 months, and nothing weird happened, except for a call button that liked to go off in an empty room. On what ended up being my last night there, I had a college interview in the morning, so had to get off work a half hour early. I always made my morgue check at straight up the hour, but because I was leaving early, I did my last check of the night a half hour earlier as well. Like most hospitals, the morgue was in the basement, and the acoustics down there were such that every sound echoed slightly. I got off the elevator and started down the long hall to the morgue, my footsteps echoing as I walked. I started hearing what sounded like people talking, which was nothing unusual in itself. Late night arrivals and attendance working late was commonplace, but this sounded different. The voices, especially a couple of laughs I heard, I still can hear the laughs, had a hollow, kind of distant quality to them, and there was more than a few of them. I was officially creeped out. As I got 25, 30 feet from the morgue, I hear a man say, "He's coming!" And an old man will respond, "He's early." I quicken my pace, and as I hear a hurried commotion of mumbled voices, and gave a shout on my walkie for backup in the morgue. I burst out into the morgue not knowing what to expect, and there's no one there. I look in all the rooms, under and behind all the furniture, nothing. Then I see it. Laying on the floor by the drawers is a toe tag. I start opening the drawers, expecting to catch someone hiding in some of them, and find no one but the guests. The third one I opened up ended up being the owner of the orphan toe tag. 3 other guards came down, and we did a full search of the whole floor. Found no one. What freaked me out, though, was I had been checking the bodies all night. Some had been here a couple days, and so I kind of knew what body was where. When I did my search of the drawers, almost half of them were in the wrong ones. Needless to say, I quit that day. My favorite morgue. I got this great job working at a hospital. I really get to do something I enjoy. Taking care of others has always been a passion. I work on one of the hardest floors, the cancer floor. We always have the same patients, and not a whole lot of them make it. This makes my job hard in a lot of ways. Anyways, I have seen my fair share of deaths since I started here. I worked a night shift. Well, at night, it can be a little creepy when you have to go to the morgue. One night, myself and a coworker were taking someone down to the morgue. Now let me explain. Our morgue is a little freezer box that is in the basement and smells horrible. Plus it has a ramp to get into it. So she and I wheel the body down there, and we push it up the ramp, and then we argue over who is going to push the body in. Of course, I lose, so I swing the freezer door open, push in the body, and slam the door shut. We start to fill out paperwork when we both look up at each other. She says to me, "Did you hear that?" And I respond saying, "I think so." We both turn and look at the door. We both got cold chills, and the hair on our arms were standing straight up. It sounded like someone was crying out for help. We froze, turned, looked at each other, and ran out. Halfway down the hall, she asked, if I really heard what she did. Yeah, I did, I tell her. So I was telling one of my friends who is a nurse on our floor, and also the story. She tells me that she has had similar things happen in the morgue as well. To this day, I will not go alone, and I know this sounds weird, but I always try to get out of that situation. We also have a tradition on our floor that when someone passes away, we open the window so the soul of that person is not trapped in the hospital to roam. I'm not making this up. It truly happened. If you don't believe me, I don't care. I know who does, and so does everyone else who works there with me. Thanks for reading.